What's up, people? It's that time of the week where we go over the advice letters that have been submitted and give. You know what? I think this light does not like this white shirt. I might have to take an intermission real quick and go change. It's looking really bizarre. I'm not getting the feel. This is stupid. I remember doing this before. Huh. Well, let me, before we even get started too much, okay, I think this is better. Now I know, can't wear white. Not with these lights. I changed my lighting and this is not working. So anyway, let's start this again. We're here to do Relationship Wednesday. The What the Fuck Wednesday relationship advice show has been on this channel in various forms for, well, since forever. Looks like we have a lot of 30 questions today. So we're going to be here for a minute. These are questions that have been sent in advance. So those of you who think that you can ask a question here tonight, that's not the case. These people sent their questions in advance. In order for you to do that, you would have to go to debsterism.com, which you see in the bottom of the screen there, there's a form that you fill out and submit your advice question there. It's Debsterism.com. Okay, so let's get started. But since we have so many questions, so many questions. My shirt says, I think, therefore we have nothing in common. The dusty repellent shirt. Okay, question number 1. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Daly City, California. Third issue. I'm upset that my boyfriend hasn't offered to come by while I'm sick. What can I do or say moving forward? Okay. I've been sick with COVID for a week now, and I haven't seen my boyfriend since I got sick. We live separately and have been dating for over a year. I've been off work staying at home. Not once has he offered to come by, drop off food or meds, or offer his help. I understand that he doesn't want to catch COVID, so I don't expect him to come close to me. But even just see his face from a distance or receive something small from him would be nice. He works less than 10 minutes from my home in San Bruno, so I tried to hint at him to come by and bring me something, and he even said, like a care package. And I said, yeah, something like that. But that was some days ago, and I've received nothing. I've become upset because my previous partners came to see me when I was sick and would bring medication or food. I really don't want to compare them, but I do feel disappointed. I don't think I'd be as upset if I had just had a case of the common cold. But last time I had COVID, I was quite ill for many weeks and ended up in the hospital for heart inflammation, which he knows this. During our last phone call, I didn't talk much and was quite dismissive, but he had the audacity to ask me for a back massage when I'm better. I responded by saying, how can you ask me that when I'm sick, yet you should be giving me one instead? Ultimately, I expect a bit of compassion and empathy from him, but am I asking for too much? I feel like I shouldn't have to spell out for him what I want when it's already been mentioned, but maybe that's what he needs. What should I say to him moving forward? You should say, bye, motherfucker. That's what you should say, because you're right. I mean, no, yeah, I wouldn't want to come like into the house, be too close to you and stuff like that, because, the stuff is very contagious. And you don't know, does he have like younger siblings, parents or grandparents that he's going to be around that that could be compromised by him being exposed to it. There are a lot of other unknowns here that you didn't talk about in the letter. Just on the surface it looks bad, but he has a side too, and we don't want to condemn him too much. What I do want to say though is that even if he didn't come in, he could come to the street and you could look at him, raise the window up, and he could talk to him through the open window. Or he could leave a little care package and then, walk away and tell you, open your door and I left something for you on your porch, something like that. And then he's down the stairs or wherever away, waving at you, blowing you kisses and whatnot like that. I think that would have been a good compromise. But instead, he doesn't do anything and has gall to call you and talk about a back massage. Yeah, what you need to be doing is figuring out how you're going to get you a different boyfriend. That's what you need to do. One that's going to be, demonstrate some kind of concern and consideration for you. Because we go right back to my 3 foundational points. Respect, being a man of his word, and then giving you the relationship that you need to feel safe, secure, and loved. And he's not doing that. And, people are going to get sick, especially as a woman. As you get married to the man, you're going to have, kids with him and stuff. You're not going to be feeling all fine and dandy every single day of a pregnancy or even after. Things happen. Some men are better than that than others, but yours is just like he ain't doing shit. So it's time for you to consider someone else. That's the camp I'm in. There's so many ways he could have mitigated this, but he didn't choose any of those options. Question number 2. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group from London, England. The female is 28 to 34. Okay, so she's a little older. Third issue. My girlfriend wants to circumcise me. How do I tell her no? Just tell her after you. She tripping. I'm a 27-year-old mixed race Brit, and my girlfriend is 31, is from Ghana. She is Christian. I'm from the UK, and I'm an atheist. I have an uncircumcised peen, but my girlfriend says she does not like it and wants me to get a circumcision. At 27? Why would you do that? I don't want to get that done. We've been dating for 4 months and things are getting serious, and she keeps mentioning it. They're not going to get serious, and you're not going to let them get serious. At first, I thought it was a joke. However, the talk recently has been getting more serious about how in the future she would not want to have kids with me or marry me unless I get the procedure done. I'm at a loss because I have told her multiple times I do not want to, and the risks involved, and the fact that doing surgery for cosmetic reasons because she wants it wouldn't be advisable anyway, but she is insistent. How can I tell her I do not want to be circumcised while keeping our relationship the same? That's not going to happen. She's a control freak and just weirdo. I mean, you get with a dude who's almost 30 years old, and that's what's going on with him. And you come in the door after just a couple of months because you've only been 4 months, and it just sounds like it's been going on for a minute. So just say 2 months in, she's telling you to do some kind of major high risk surgery to yourself to please her. If you did this, you would be an idiot. What I'm going to tell you to do is put her back wherever you found her and get you a new girlfriend. Because you can get a new girlfriend far easier than you can get a new peen if some shit goes awry, which it very often does in those situations with men that old. So, I mean, I know that just because I know it. Why do I know so many weird things? But yeah, so many weird things happen. It's just not advisable. I mean, unless you have cancer or something they cutting off. I mean, there has to be a reason. But just to do it because somebody wants you to, tell her, well, it's been very nice knowing you, and I'm going to do so because you keep trying to change me in ways that I don't want to be changed. You're not accepting me as I am, and that would be the foundation for any kind of relationship going forward. So we won't be having kids. We won't be going on any more dates. We don't even need to think about being married because none of that shit is going to happen. You fucked it up. And then just leave her alone. It's not hard. Let me get over here to the comments so I can see who showed up. Yeah, ex-church girl, they showed them. I keep telling them, but I'm just like one little voice in the wild shouting that so nobody can really hear me. But I think with this movement, what is it called? The 4B movement, where women are just like giving up on men altogether, period, point blank, period. I think that it's going to become more widely known, to be talked about more, because those women are prime candidates for what I'm talking about, to spread that word. But yeah, can you believe that? Somebody would be insistent on something like that? Wow. I don't even know what to say. I wouldn't have the gall to fix my lips to tell a man some mess like that. And I'm pretty outspoken, but even I wouldn't do that. Question number 3. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. Washington, D.C., the male, same age group, 28 to 34. Summary of issue. I found my partner messaging an old F buddy. How do I get him out of my house? Wow. So he was messaging. Okay. I wonder what the message said. But first time writer, though, I've been lurking around your channel for several years. I am 30 and I own a house, and my soon-to-be ex-32 boyfriend lives with me. I would say it's our home, but given the circumstances, I will note that it's my house. Deb, I recently caught him messaging an old F buddy. This is the same F buddy he was hooking up with while we were first dating. We had agreed to tell the other if we were having nook with other person, given that we were no longer using protection. Long story short, he didn't tell me until I got it out of him. Going back to the present time, the text he sent her, it was a smile emoji only. He was drunk, and I can't help but wonder how often this has been coming up without me knowing. There have been several other instances of him crossing boundaries, and a lot of times I felt rather, to be made as if I'm overreacting in these instances, given I had emotions, given that I didn't like my boundaries crossed. I did go through his phone to find this message. Yes, I know this in itself shows I don't trust him. We've been together for 2 years and we were planning for a baby in the next 2 years. Why would you do that? See, you were just making one stupid decision after another. During the snoop over his phone, I also found the quote unquote the engagement ring I wanted on his phone. I'm still having conflicting emotions of breaking up with him. I understand drinking makes people do stupid things, and he likes to drink. He has gotten better, but still, drinking is no excuse. That's right. How to go about breaking up with him when he lives with me? I'm worried that I'm overreacting, thanks to trauma. I'm also worried that he has access to informed delivery to my house. He set up the security cameras on the house. I know I need to change my locks eventually. He has had access to everything, which I had not minded as I had nothing to hide. Well, you set yourself up for this. Okay, so you had a mere boyfriend for, let me see, how long did you say you was together? Didn't I just hear 2 years? Hold on, let me just double check. He lives with me. We've been together for 2 years and we're planning for the baby in the next 2 years. Okay, so you've been with some man for 2 years, a mere boyfriend, and he has access to everything that you own and all your private stuff, and you felt like you had nothing to hide, and that's why you did that. Are you stupid? The answer to that question, without me even having to wait for you to answer it, is absolutely. Okay, I don't know what kind of thing happens to you women when you decide that you thinking about, this is the one or some shit. You lose your goddamn mind. You don't never let no man have full access to your shit. Even married women don't need to have a man that has full access to their shit. Okay, there has to be something that you have that's just for you. Okay. I had whole invested accounts and stuff. My husband knew it. I had it before I met him. I was gonna have it after him. I still have it. And so, like mutual fund investment things. I mean, different stuff. I have that. That's for me. Don't have nothing to do with you. Because women outlive men. So, as a woman, especially if you get married and stuff, you have to think about that reality. He most likely, statistically, is going to croak before you, as case in point. So what you gonna do? Especially you got a couple of kids. You got a mortgage to pay. You got stuff to do. What you gonna do? You better plan better. So in this case right here, what you should best do is consult with an attorney. I'm not touching this. You're gonna consult with an attorney and you're gonna tell him what you did and how stupid you were and what your what the boyfriend's name is on and all this kind of stuff there. And then you're gonna get advice from said attorney who will probably refer you to some kind of, police intervention program or something to figure out how to get this man up out of your house in a safe way. That's gonna involve eviction and all this kind of stuff if you decide to go that route. The only thing is I want you to really think about it though, because don't use my name in there with Ash. I want you to really think about it, because if you go through all these movements and all this, you do all this, don't let him come begging his way back. When you do this, when you go through the extremes and do what you just talked about and what I just advised, that is it. The relationship is over. All ties to this man are severed. You're going to change all your passwords. You might even uninstall that camera system completely and get your own putting into a reputable business, things like that. You want to disable anything that he has access to, anything that he set up and he has backdoor entries and access to through the computer and all this kind of stuff. All of that needs to be removed from the house, and you put up something else that only you have access to. She Ash up there trying to throw shade on the sly. Well, yeah, she was planning for that. Just happened. He sent a smile emoji. I mean, it's not that critical, but she did say the part that's bothering me the most is that the part where she says here, there have been several other instances of him crossing boundaries, and a lot of times I've felt to be made as if I'm overreacting in these instances. So see that, she didn't go into any detail, but that is to me shows this is a pattern of behavior. If you just take the smile emoji while he was drunk on its own, it's really not that big of a deal, because she didn't say the woman responded back, and you know what I mean. So it wasn't like this whole exchange of conversation and all this stuff. He sent a smile emoji. That was the end of it. But this part is the part that's bothering me. And if you got a guy who's treating you that way, that's not somebody that you tie yourself to with a kid. You get rid of that fool. I know it's not, but I'm just saying. In itself, somebody sending an extra smile emoji is not that big of a deal. To some women, it might be. To me, I just be like, whatever. Let me go send some of my exes some smiley emojis and some winks and all kind of shit, so we be even. You know what I mean? not that big of a deal. It's like a gateway drug, though. Some people don't know how to just let that shit go. That's what you got to use. You have to match energy. So he gonna be sending smiley emojis. Guess what? Smiley emojis coming to my fine ass exes coming right up. And I won't be drunk when I send mine. So that's why, yeah, she needs to really rethink this relationship. Question number 4. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Jacksonville, Florida. The male's 28 to 34. Summary of issue. How can I communicate in a healthy way with my angry boyfriend? Since we added this part about, I've been using this summary of issue. I added that to the form probably about 2-3 years ago. Since that has been part of the advice letters, it's like the letters, I mean, that's really all I really need is the summary, the part. They go through all this explanation and share their little feelings, and they want to tell you what happened, and he said this, and I said that. They want to go through all this detail. But really, the core of the issue is right there in the summary, and we don't really need to talk about anything else. But let us see what's going on with her and what kind of communication problems they're having. I feel so exhausted trying to find ways to deal with these problems. Why don't you just get rid of him? What in the world is wrong with these girls? I know a lot of people will tell me just to break up with him, but I love him. See, there we go. And want to find some way to deal with these issues. Then you just take them being angry. You think that I'm going to tell you how you're going to change him? He's not going to change, okay? What you have is an angry man. He's going to stay angry. He was born angry. He's going to die angry. He's going to be angry every day in between. Does your dumbass want to still deal with a man who's angry all the goddamn time? I don't. So that's what you have to decide. Do I want to be with an angry man? That's how I want to live my life. That's it. That's the only decision that you have to make. How you want to live your life. If you want to live your life with some angry ass fool all the time, well, then keep at doing what you're doing. Because you love him, though. Does he love you the same way you love him? Don't sound like it. So let's see what else you're doing, stupid. We've been dating for more than a year now. Only a year? He was abused and neglected growing up, meaning he never really was taught how to deal with his relationships in a healthy way. And I empathize with this. So you went and found some Humpty Dumpty broken ass fool, and you trying to be like all the king's men and put Humpty Dumpty back together again? Is that what I'm hearing? Y'all know that nursery rhyme? I used to love that song. But yeah, he's broken. See, I don't do defective people. And I know people be like, oh, but you can help them heal. Fuck it. Help your damn self. That's what they have shrinks for. Deborah's time is going to be spent loving Deborah and having a good goddamn time before I choke up out of here. I'm not going to spend my time trying to fix somebody who's broken and they haven't put any effort into trying to fix themselves. I'm not going to do that. That's not what my life energy is here for. So they come with that sob story, and with soft-hearted women buy it. When they start telling me I was abused and neglected, I say, well, wow, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, look at the time. Let me get up out of here. And I'm gone. I can't do it. So this problem is that he cannot regulate his anger. If I calmly and respectfully try to talk to him about something he has done that hurt me or bothered me, he almost immediately becomes angry and only gets angrier the longer the conversation goes on. See, this is the common belief. I have to keep stopping because I don't want to just wait to the end. These girls always believe that the guys, quote, can't regulate their anger. That's a fucking lie. You know why they can't? Watch him get pulled up by a cop and see how he regulates his anger. Watch him go to his job where he needs to get that paycheck to stay living and paying his bills. I bet you his ass gonna regulate his anger there too. Right? So it's not that they can't. It's that they opt not to when it's you because they know that you will take the shit. They can't fix no. Yeah, but I love him though, man. Woo. Okay, so she says I try keeping my problem to myself, but he can tell if I'm upset, so he becomes angry that I won't open up to him. I try remaining completely quiet in hopes of him leaving me alone, but it only makes him angry. If I cry, he becomes angry and tells me I'm having a pity party. Why don't you just cuss his fucking ass out? During an argument, I always try to tell him that we need to be alone for a few minutes and talk about it when we calm down. But he does not agree with this, and if I try to leave the room, he prevents me, and I'm essentially trapped in my room with him yelling and raising his voice at me. And you continue to deal with this fool. He gets angry frequently and has never failed to blame me for starting an argument with him. He tells me I'm not the victim and I need to act like an adult and not a child when he is the one throwing a temper tantrum. But when I point out that he's becoming angry or talking to me disrespectfully, he always denies it. After the arguments, he usually apologizes and realizes that he shouldn't have acted that way. It's gotten to the point where I cry in silence because I want empathy and reassurance so badly when I am upset, but I don't know, but I know it will only make things worse if I bring it up. So I want you to think about what it is that you're getting out of this relationship. You can't talk to him about nothing because he blows up. You can't express your real feelings because he loses his mind. He can't be there for you because he's too angry at everything. It calls you victim and names and stuff like that. What in the world are you getting out of this relationship that makes you want to tell me to my face that you love him though, and that's why you don't want to break up? Now we see when I have women who are stupid like you know what I do? I take that letter and I chuck it over here, and I don't have nothing else to say because there's nothing to say to you. You've already made your mind up what you want to do. So why are you even wasting my time here? We deal with people who want to change stuff. You said right in the beginning that you don't want to break up with him because you love him. No. So see, anything else you said after that is just ridiculous because you are already in the pattern and you want to stay there. So you stay there. You stay there until he gets so angry he beats your ass, and then you finally wake the fuck up and go and get yourself out of this situation. Until then, just stay there. Stay there because you haven't had enough yet. When you get sick and tired and you've had enough, then you'll finally leave them. And I hope that amount comes soon before hospitalization and the police are involved. But I have a feeling that that's not going to happen with you, though. You're going to hang in there to the very end until, like I said, you end up in traction or worse. Because you're just stupid. Question number 5. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group. Ooh, no location provided. Summary of issue. I need some advice on how and when to disclose trauma to potential partners. My advice is never do that. My advice is that you do that with your shrink. That you don't need for a whole bunch of men that you run it in and out your life and in and out your bed to know all the details of your trauma in your life. They don't need to know that. It's not going to help your relationship with them at all. It's not going to help y'all communicate better. It's not going to help you love each other more. All it's doing is for you to try to make yourself feel better by dumping your trauma on somebody. Keep that shit to yourself and take your happy ass to a shrink as you just dump away for $200 an hour. Okay, that's what you do. That's what you need to do. You don't want to have a whole bunch of raggedy ass ratchet men that you meeting on the street on the swipey things or whatever, knowing the full details of your life like that. What the fuck is wrong with these girls? Yeah, there's my mind. Look, it's not gonna make you close. He's gonna be looking at you, and you know what we keep seeing here on this channel? This keeps happening. The guys want to reenact the scene that the trauma. They want to reenact it. They do reenact it. And then guess what? You get traumatized again. And you know why that is? I'm not trying to say that that is your fault that it happened. I'm saying it would be your fault that you told him and set yourself up so that it happens again. That's what I'm saying. There are certain things in life women need to learn to shut the hell up. You talk too goddamn much. You want to tell men every goddamn thing. They don't need to know all of that. They don't need to know all those kinds of things about you. Learn to just move in silence some goddamn time. Always running their lips about some shit. Ooh, good Lord, have mercy. So see, okay, here she's sharing. Luckily, there's no location. She didn't provide a location, so nobody gonna know where she's from. I have a history of abuse. I was SA'd at 13 in an abusive relationship from 13 to 15. Cops and authorities were involved, and most recently had a turbulent 3-year-long relationship with a narcissist. At almost 30, I'm actively healing and working on myself and have been for the last year. But as you can imagine, this obviously affects how I will date. I move incredibly slow. I need a very casual first date in a very public area. I don't like physical touch and can be quite rigid at first. I open up and can function normally once I'm comfortable with someone until we get intimate, and then those issues have to be discussed as well. I don't want to set myself up for failure by trying to push myself past my comfort zone, but I also don't want to trauma dump on someone. I'm afraid if I say nothing, I'll end up ruining any connection for seeming to be uninterested, when in reality, I'm just fighting fright and anxiety. If they knew there was a reason why I'm the way I am, maybe my behavior could would make more sense to them and give me the buffer I need to open up. What do you think, Deb? I already told you what I think. And you pitching around trying to make them understanding and sticking around be your responsibility and rely on your shoulders with you spilling your guts. All you have to do is tell a man is, look, due to my history with men, because that is it, I need to move incredibly slowly. I don't like a lot of touch. Just all the stuff you just said here. If I want touch, I'll touch you. That's how it's gonna have to be. If that's a problem for you, I'm telling you right now, it's just let's end it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go into details. You don't have to tell them all the gory details of what happened to you and when and why and with your age and all this kind of stuff. They don't need to know that. Okay? You just give them the top level version and say, this is how the program is going to be. Is that going to work for you or not? And then he'll say yes or no. And then you just roll with it. Yeah, see? Pablo Escobar, that's exactly what they do. They blame you for it. It's like, I don't know what it is about men. They feel like, that women can control big ass men. Instead of saying, why did you not, asking men, why do you do that kind of stuff to women and children? Instead of asking a woman, why did you let that happen? You idiot. He's lucky I probably would have touched him. I shot him for that. Yes, it's too late. You have to do that online, and it's done weeks in advance. India, go to that website right there on the screen, debsterism.com, and submit the advice question form. These people sent it back. I don't even know when all they sent in their question, weeks ago, most likely, because I've been kind of hit and miss with the show due to my surgery and all that stuff. All right, let's move on to question number 6. This is a male in the 35 to 42 age group from Tacoma, Washington. Summary issue: when should I tell potential girlfriends about my medical condition? Okay, here we go again. You want to just tell everything. We've been on 4 dates and I am enamored with her. She's 33, has 3 kids, and is a nurse. I am 39, have a medical condition called AFib, and I'm terrified of telling her because she might reject me. She's been very sweet and down to earth so far, so when she might be okay with it, I just don't know how or when I should break the news to her. I have my health in check and I'm relatively healthy despite the AFib. Any help is appreciated. You would tell her that when it's her business. Like, I don't know, y'all getting ready to get married or something. And then she would need to know because it's your wife. And she would be, if something happened to you, she would be there to help you get through it. A mere girlfriend, some woman that you just barely know, you've been on 4 dates. And you want to go spilling your guts and tell her all this stuff. You don't need to do that, sir. Keep your mouth closed. You might only have 5 or 6 dates with her. And then, I just don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. What people just want to just tell other people that they barely know all their business like that. I'm like, what is the motivation to do that? And if it's, see, the thing about AIDS, it's not like it's a mental disease that's, unless it's some congenital heart defect that you're not telling, you failed to mention, then, and she already got 3 kids anyway, so what the fuck? She don't need no more. 3 is plenty. So, what you have is not, it wouldn't really impact her. Unless, like I said, you guys get married and have kids and it's something that's congenital, carried through the genes and this might pass to the baby. Well, she might need to know that then, because then a decision would need to be made. But in general, your stuff is covered. You healthy. You got your medication or whatever. You're doing your thing. You're healthy enough to date. So what's the problem? Why you need to feel it? Why do you feel the need to go blab all that? Shut up. Go on the fucking dates. See how it goes. And then make a decision later. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know why they want to talk so much. I don't get it. Anyway, let's move on. I got 30 questions. I'm like, oh. Yeah, Pablo, that must have been before you came here, because I'd be preaching that don't ever tell men stuff. Don't tell them. They don't need to know. Don't need to know shit. As far as they know, your life was, you skipped on daisies and fields every day and sang and played with butterflies. You was living the Disney life. That's all they need to know. They need to know shit else about you. Nothing about your pain, nothing about abuse, nothing about criminal acts that were perpetrated against you, nothing. They don't need to know nothing that happened before they met you. It's not their goddamn business. That includes relationships, that includes sexual activity, that includes jobs, really. I mean, anything about your life that's, that could be sensitive if it came up and got thrown in your face later or a spin put on it in some weird time. They don't need to know. You want to tell them, oh yeah, my family, we used to go to Yosemite all the time when I was a kid. Okay, you can tell them that. Do you need to know anything more about, the details about it, or some trauma that happened while you was at Yosemite? No, you don't need to know that. And I always ask women, okay, why did you think he needs to know that? Please explain that to me. Well, I thought, that I should just be honest. That's what they always say. I should be honest. No, what you're thinking about is being stupid. That's what you're thinking about doing. Honest was something like, he called and you didn't answer the phone because you was over there signing for some Amazon shit that you wasn't supposed to get or something. And then he's like, well, what did you get? And, you bought something that was $1,000 and you portray it to be like $100. Well, that's when you be honest, because especially if it's community funds is buying it. Say, oh, I bought this little trinket and it was $1,000. Okay. That's honest. Honest is not going back into your history of your life and unpacking every single fucking thing that happened to you to share with some new Johnny come lately that you just started dealing with. Even if you're married to it, you still don't need to know. Yeah. I don't get it. I'm not telling people nothing. All right, let's see. Question number 7. Female 22 to 27 from Woodbridge, New Jersey. Summary of issue. How do I respond to a guy friend that asked me to marry him? You laugh in his face because obviously he's on one. There's this guy friend I like who is 26 and I am 24. We met some months back online and just never stopped texting, even though we live on different continents. We get along really well and have, oh boy, okay. Wait, I lost my thing. We get along really well. Oh, and have a lot of things in common. We're both single, so we discuss what we want out of a partner. And not only are we both in each other's exact type, but also have the same relationship goals. See, you're 24, so you don't know this. There's a video on this channel where I'm talking about my cousin. It's the Deb and Joy series. I'm talking about my cousin. And I explain why when men ask you what you're looking for, you never tell them that. You say, I'll know it when I see it. You don't feed him information so he can mimic you like a fucking parrot and tell you everything that you said back to him. Oh, me too. And make you feel like he's the man of your dreams. That's game. And at 24, you don't know that, but now you do. Okay? You never tell a man that. They ask you what you're looking for, say, I'll know when I see it. That's all you say. You don't start trotting out your laundry list of shit that he can pick and choose which thing he's going to portray himself to be, just enough to manipulate and control you. You girls, see, again, talking too fucking much. Just giving up information that you don't need to be given. Why would a man need to know what you're looking for? Tell me that. Somebody volunteer. Tell me why. Somebody asked you that. Why would you answer that question? What benefit is it to you to answer that question? How does it help you to answer that question? All it does is just make you look a sitting duck, a victim. You may as well put a target on your forehead. For any kind of game and pimp ass fool coming along, he's going to use everything that you said against you. Because you got a big ass mouth and you don't know when to shut up. He don't need to know. He needs to be the man that he's going to be. And I fucking decide if he's what I'm looking for or not. I'm not giving your ass a script. That's what the stupid women do. They give men scripts. Oh, I need this and I need that and I want him to be this and I want him to be that. And then they'll coming right up. Because that's what you gave them a script to play. You told him a step-by-step way to game on your ass by telling him what you're looking for. You just let him be himself. Let him do what he gonna do. Be what he gonna be. And you sit there and you judge him like a motherfucker. And if you don't like what you see, then you get rid of his ass. If you do like what you see, then you keep moving forward. It's that simple. He don't need to know what you're looking for. Exactly. I tell these clowns shit. They don't need to know nothing. I swear. So she goes on and on. Okay, so we have so many similarities and stuff I started to like him. See, she fell right into the trap, poor little thing. He also flirted heavily with me. He gave me a lot of signs that he liked me. Yeah, he gonna do that because you told him how to do it. You tell big mouth. Okay, so she just wrote the world here. He would ask me to share my day-to-day life photos with him, and he always sent me back his. He was always excited to see me, so now he knows where you be and your friends and what time you be at these different places and stuff. Because you done chronicled your whole life for him in photos. Dummy. I knew he found me physically attractive because he would always reply, "You look cute. You look hot," or something like that to my photos, and even comment smash to one of my photos. At some point, we were thinking of meeting up, and he even said something like, "You will end up in the hotel room with me." He's on a different continent now. Keep that in mind. That's what she said. So I finally decided to confess to him. Surprisingly, he rejected me. He said that even though he thinks I'm hot and have a great personality, he only sees me as a great friend because we live so far away, which makes sense. But because long distance relationships suck. After that, we still maintained our friendship, and surprisingly, everything was normal. There was zero awkwardness even after the rejection. He still texts me every day. I think the longest we have gone without texting is a couple of days. The initiation and effort in our conversation is pretty equal. He still kept on making comments about my looks, though, so I just chalked it off to that being his personality. Some days ago, though, he casually mentioned that he wants to move to a different country and asked me to move with him. I didn't think much of it. Okay, here we go. The sex trafficking is about to begin. But today I told him, let's do it. He replied by saying, "Marry me." He said something like, "You might just be the perfect woman for me." I don't know how to respond to this. Gosh, you're dumb. This could be part of his flirty banter, but also why joke about something so serious? Why are you so old and so dumb? 22 to 27. Girl, for real? Oh, I'm so confused about what this man wants and how he thinks. Some of my friends think he's playing around with me. Others think he likes me, but is scared of how the long distance relationship would be as the stakes are high, considering we are good friends. I'm just confused about how to go about confronting him with this, as I don't want to lose him as a friend. I would like a clear answer so I can move on with my life and start dating other people if he doesn't want anything with me. Dating other people? You're not dating him. What is this other people thing? You have what we used to call a pen pal, but you text him instead of writing letters. But a part of me is still holding out for him because I like him. He finds me attractive, and since we are already friends, it would be so much easier to date since we are so similar. I just don't know what's going on. How would you suggest I deal with this? I suggest you go on your phone and press the block button. That's what you need to do because you stupid. You are stupid, and you gonna get yourself in a situation where nobody sees you again. All caught up in this fantasy with some person on the other end of a phone. You don't even know who the fuck you texting with. He's trying to get you to voluntarily get your ass on a plane and go to another country. Don't you know then he can't be charged with kidnapping you? There can be no international crime that from him taking you there because you would have left voluntarily. And then if he decides that he's, gonna marry you, well then you would be his wife and you'd be under his control. Then all your assets would be under his control, your body would be under control. He could tell you where to go. He could bring in a whole bunch of men there. Won't be shit you could do about it because you're his wife, you're his property now. In certain countries, that's how they look at it. And you would have voluntarily put your little silly ass in that noose. I want you to go in your phone and block that man right now. That's what I want you to do because you are going to get yourself in so much. We're gonna be seeing you on the news. It's just you're scary how stupid you are. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say to you. It's scary that you are this dumb in this day and age with all this information available online and everywhere else about how sex trafficking rings work, how they recruit new people, how they roll, and how the naive girls think that because somebody says over phone, well, you're beautiful, you're hot, and you know, we got so much in common. You believe him, and then you're gonna go change your whole life and put yourself in utmost danger because somebody filled your head up with smoke. I don't even know what to say. She ain't touched him with them. They on the other continents. You off on some fantasy in your head. Big old big ass head prize XY. She's in another continent. She ain't never touched the guy. Ain't never laid eyes on the dude. All of this is taking place over the phone. And he's in another continent. And she don't even know who this man is. And she's been sending all these pictures of her day-to-day life and all this kind of stuff. So he, like I said, so they can look and see, well, these are the places where she goes. This is the city where she is. So if they want to snatch her up, they know she's gonna be at one of these locations. If they just wait long enough, she's gonna show up. That's why you don't do shit like that when men start asking for your day-to-day and locations and shit like that. You don't send it to them. So they don't need to goddamn know where you are. If you need to know, you would be here and you would be going there with me. So since you ain't, then you don't need to know. Oh my God. And then, you have to look at these parents. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? How come you're not raising your daughters with any more sense than this? They have no sense of self-preservation at all. Just blind and stupid and desperate for attention. Whew, my God. Low self-esteem is at the core of most of this, though. Because if she had any, she wouldn't be caught up in this. It's like some stranger telling you, oh, you're hot, your stuff. You shut the fuck up. Nobody's talking about what you're talking about. You just a voice on the phone that we just talking. So just don't even say that kind of shit to me before you get blocked. Question number 8. Oof, that one. Oof. That one was scary. Summary of it. I'm sorry. Question number 8. Female, 35 to 42, from Nottingham in the UK. Third issue: how to handle my boyfriend, quote, cracking jokes about me paying for our growing lifestyle. 3 years together. Am I too serious? I bought a townhouse 10 years ago before I met my fiance. Here we go. They lose their mind when they say that word fiance. I'm 38 and he's 42. I make double what he makes. I also have a side business that's bringing in a big chunk of money to use as down payment so we can stay in the same neighborhood but have a yard and no shared walls for our kid who's 9 months old, and a pool on his request. When I got pregnant, I gave him money for the engagement ring. Wow. He did an incredible job of showing me what he could get for that money by being resourceful, ordering straight from India, and paying in Bitcoin, as well as getting them to lower the value on the export. So he paid way less tax and import whatsoever. He knows this kind of stuff, and I don't. Whenever we have to spend on big things, it's my money, but he does the digging to get legit products and safety first, reputable brands, good deals, etc. However, when I try to talk seriously about upping his contribution, he says that I am the breadwinner, and why doesn't my dad just buy us a house? It's a joke, but it makes me numb and unable to get to the crux of the issue. He also says things like it's my turn to pay because I hardly ever do. He says he always gets the tab and I owe him, as jokes. I don't find it funny. Am I too serious? No, it's not funny, and he's not joking. He wants to be a kept man, and so far that's what you've been doing. I highly suggest, since you're not married, that you see an attorney, and anything that you buy from now into the future, you put it into a trust for your kid. You name a trustee that's not him or anyone in his family so he can't get to it, and that you start to be more financially savvy, okay? Because obviously, he's living off of your money, and now you got this kid with him, and you want to buy a house, and he want a pool and all this old shit here, and you stupid enough, I'm seeing the dumbness right here, that you would put his name on it, so then he decided he want to leave you, you're going to have to sell the house and give him half the money. Although you would have put in all the down payment, and you would be making all the mortgage payments, and so none of the equity would really be his, but the fact that you put his name on it is going to entitle him to 50%. You don't even see how stupid you are. That motherfucker couldn't live in a pup tent with me. No, you get out. You go live somewhere. Yes, what the fuck Wednesday? I'm trying to tell you. Maya. Maya with the surprise eyes face. I don't even know what to say. I just, like, why couldn't I be been born a dude and find some stupid dumb woman like this to take care of me that I could pimp and get me, a $300,000 house without putting the diamond money in it and all kind of stuff that they be working out with these women. I just don't get it. And he don't even have to pay for the engagement ring. She gave him the money for that. I don't even know what to say. Question number 9. Female. It's almost funny. Female, 22 to 27, from North York, Canada. So we have issues. Tomboyish nature. Is it a bad thing in dating? Let me preface this by saying I'm not trying to give off not like other girls energy. I hate that sentiment. I definitely am like other girls in every way. I love being a girly girl. I wish I was a super hyper girly girl, which leads me to my question. Is being too much of a tomboy a downfall in my dating journey? Like you, I grew up with all brothers, so the things I grew up around were socially, quote, boy things. It's definitely shaped who I am now, and I feel like I lean more towards the tomboy archetype. As an adult, I am very feminine presenting. I love makeup. I love doing my hair. I take care of myself and try to dress cute and look attractive. Obviously, I know there's more to being feminine than that, but just speaking on appearance and outside things. But I always find myself in a role rather, with men and dates where I feel like I'll fall into them talking to me as if I were just one of the buddies. Not sure where I'm going with this. I guess I'm curious if I should work on being more feminine. No, you just work on, when they start talking to you like that. I mean, what it basically means is that they're comfortable. They're comfortable with you, but if that's not what you want more of a romantic thing, then you just have to tell them that. Or you have to start doing things that would make it be more romantic. Because if a dude feels comfortable, he's just gonna relax and just be himself and just talk to you like, it's not gonna be all that special girly, oh sweetie, honey pie, darling kind of conversation that you seem like you fantasizing about. I would much prefer a guy talk to me just like regular. I don't want to, have to pretend to be somebody I'm not all the damn time. Because he might be looking at the game and say, God damn it. And I'll say, yeah, look at that shit right there. Okay. That's who I am. And it'd be better to have somebody who understands that and is on that page and not expecting me to say, oh my God, don't use language like that. Oh, that's terrible. You shouldn't speak like that. It's not proper. That's not me. So, I'm not really sure what you are talking about here. It would have been helpful if you gave some examples, so I get a clear idea of what you mean when you say, I feel like I fall into them talking to me as if I were just one of their buddies. What does that mean? You didn't give me an example. So I can't really respond to this question, in depth. But what I can tell you just from my own personal experience is don't worry about it. Just be yourself. You're going to meet a man who's down with it. He's going to want somebody who can cuss like him and go fishing and hiking and do that kind of stuff with him. And who's not going to be like batting away mosquitoes and trying to wear heels in nature and all that kind of stuff. He's going to want somebody who's real and down to earth. And that's going to be you. So don't try to change yourself. Okay, it sounds like, you're doing everything that you need to be doing to look, pretty and presentable and stuff like that. That's it. That's all you have to do. You're doing more than me. Yeah, I don't sweet talk nobody. I don't have the time for that shit. Get over yourself. Question number 10. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Ottawa, Canada. Some have issues. How should I proceed with my boyfriend went on dating apps to see if he could find anyone better? That means he ain't your boyfriend no more. Next question. Yeah. I don't want me and be talking like, you want to move. He want to move in with you. Hell no, you're not moving in with me. That's not happening, Captain. So let's see what she's talking about. We've been together. My boyfriend and I are in a long distance relationship and have been together for 7 months so far, but have known each other for well over a year. We are both 29. He's been very unsure about me for a long time and consistently tells me he feels like we might be too similar and won't be able to help each other grow in terms of looks, fashion, and attention to detail. What? But he said he really likes me for, quote, who I am. He just wishes that I was, quote, cool and can be not so nerdy and like a, quote, good girl. Oh, he wants somebody to be a freak. One day, after he met my parents, he mentioned that he's still unsure about me and requested an open relationship. I got a little hurt and told him that I'm not looking for anything poly or open. So if he wants that to be an open relationship, then let's break up. He decided to take next few hours to decide whether we should be together or not. And you let him do that? Okay. When we came back to each other, he mentioned he wanted to be with me only and actively chooses to be with me. However, he let it slip that he went on dating apps for a bit to see, quote, what else is out there and feel validated that he could, quote, do better. He's telling you all this to your face? He claimed that he didn't swipe right on anyone, but just wanted to see if he could truly find someone better looking and cooler than me. I got extremely hurt by this. While I understand and I do trust that he didn't swipe right on any woman, I feel extremely disrespected. When I told him this, he didn't seem to think he cheated and told me that most men constantly evaluate whether their partners are good for them or not up until the day they propose. I don't know how to proceed or move on. I'm still hurt. It's been a few weeks since we had this argument. We're technically still together, but it's hard for me to trust that he isn't constantly rather looking for someone better than me out there. I don't know if he cheated on me or what, but I feel extremely hurt and just worthless. Any advice? I'm not looking for anyone to judge him, though. Just trying to see if this relationship is worth fighting for. Guess what? You don't get to tell me what to fucking do. I judge who the goddamn what person I want to judge, and I'm going to judge him. Then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to judge you, too. First, I'm going to judge him because he's a hoe. Who in the world is such a disrespectful jerk? Who in the world approaches their girlfriend to tell him that, he thinks he could do better and that he wants to have an open relationship? Who does that? That respects the woman. Okay, nobody. That's who. Okay, so now we turn around and we look at you. What kind of dumb broad is going to sit there and let a man tell her some shit like that and then consider that she's still in a relationship with his ass? He has flatly told you to your face that he's looking for somebody new. And you said, well, technically we're still together. No, you're not. You're not. You're not together. He's just there buying time, waiting for you to wake up and smell the stupidity, but you're not doing it. I want you, after you hear this, because I know you're gonna be in tears and you're gonna be too much of a reality check for you. I want you to think about what it is you're getting out of this relationship where you're stressed, you're upset, you feel worthless, you're extremely hurt. Why are you still there? What is the benefit to you staying there with a man who talks to you like that and who has that kind of life goal that's just completely opposite of what yours is for a relationship? Why are you there? I want you to answer that question. His market, his value is not too high because otherwise he wouldn't have had to settle for somebody who wasn't up to his speed. So don't be trying to big up this motherfucker. He ain't shit. He's just a jerk. He's an overly inflated opinion of himself. Trying to get her to think that's what he is. But see, he would have said that shit to me, and I would have broken him off a piece so bad to have him leave my house in tears. Like, let you think that you so special. As soon as they get in the sheets with you, all of that, your handicap will be on full display, motherfucker. You just thinking that somebody wants to be bothered with you. I might be a nerd and a geek, but according to statistics, nerds and geeks are the best lovers. What's not the best lovers are men who are never satisfied with the woman that they have. They don't put any energy into getting to know her and developing the relationship. They too busy traipsing off, chasing this one, that one, this one, that one, like a bunny. So you go do that with your whole self, and I hope you die of some kind of horrible sexually transmitted disease. That's what I hope happens. I hope your shit rots off and falls into the sea. That's what I hope. I hope that while you're swimming, Jaws comes up and takes a big chunk out of your middle of your body. That's what I hope. I hope all of those kind of things. I don't even know I don't even know if she's a placeholder. She just wasting her time. I don't even know what to say about this chick. Oh, this packet is so thick. Why did she hear me 30 letters? I don't know if I can do 30 letters. Question number 11. This is a male in the 20 to 34 age group from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Certain issues. Is it partially a partner's responsibility to interpret correctly what is said? Huh? Apologies if the summary is confusing. Yes, it is. Let me explain. I'm going to use a situation of partnership as those tend to be close relationship dynamics. So say I speak to my partner, she gets hurt by something I said, but her interpretation of what I said wasn't really what I meant when I said it. It was merely what she heard and or extrapolated from my words, but now the damage is done. On one hand, I believe the speaker has an obligation to be clear to the intended audience, but on the other hand, how the audience interprets things is in part going to have a lot to do with their own personal biases, issues, etc., or just the way their brain receives information, regardless of how clear the speaker is. It's like looking at a, okay, I don't care about all that. So back to the main question. If a partner is hurt by my words, is it at least partly their responsibility to understand that I didn't mean it that way? I understand telling someone who was hurt that I didn't mean it that way isn't helpful, but conceptually, I wonder if the onus is completely on the speaker or if it's shared. Huh. Yeah, I know a lot of people like that. I call it they have a bad understanding. Well, this is what I suggest when you have a person like that who don't understand nothing and gets there, flip stuff out and just misconstrues everything that you say. When you say something, you say, okay, now, um, do you have any questions about what I said? Is that clear? What did you hear that I just said? And then she's gonna repeat back to you what she, twisted around in her head to mean. And then you say, well, no, that's not what I said. What I said was, and you're going to repeat it again. Now, I'm going to tell you also, when you talk to people like that who are simple-minded and don't get stuff, you can't make compound sentences. All your sentences must be very short, like 5 or 6 words max, and they can only, it's like a low level of intellect. They can only absorb and handle one thought at a time. I'm telling you, I know this sounds mean, but I'm telling you, this is what I have observed through all my years of working in corporate America. I've been working since I was 16. There's people who are intelligent that you could just take on and on. They gonna get all the concepts, all the ideas, they can compare things and analyze things really quickly on the fly, come up with ideas and stuff just flying off the head. And then you're gonna have people who sit there and be like, oh, I didn't get it. Oh, what did you say? I don't understand. Are you going to go hear what you said, and then they put some weird spin on it to say, oh, I thought you said such and such. And you say, no, how did you come up with that? I never said any of those words at all. So it's those kind of people, you cannot confuse them with too much data at one time. You give them short sentences, have them write it down, or better yet, send it to them in an email with bullet points. That seems to work really well too. Short concepts, one at a time. That's it. That's all I can handle. Yeah, that might work too. Bullet points on the dry erase board. Yeah, I'm telling you, you one of those people, unfortunately. I mean, they do exist. I mean, you know what I mean? They have good traits, don't get me wrong, but trying to communicate with them requires an adjustment. If you're used to dealing with people who are extremely bright, then you name it someone they might be a wonderful, really nice person. They're just not as sharp, and that kind of thinking. You have to deal with them in a different way. You can get good results with them. I've had staff members like, you get good results from them. They do great work. They are very people oriented. They have great qualities, but you have to adjust your communication style to really connect with them and to get the best out of them. And once I figured that out as a manager, then it was great. It worked out fine. But yeah, believe me, it was you after years of frustration, like, oh my God, you can't understand nothing. And then I finally figured out how I needed to do it. And then they started, really performing well. So I'm like, okay, yay me. All right, so let's move on to question number 12. This is a young man in the 22 to 27 age group from Milwaukee. Same issue, how to know when it's time to break up. I've been with my girlfriend for almost 3 years now. This is my first long-term relationship. She's as good as it gets. Kind, funny, great personality, all around a great person. But last year and again now, I'm starting to feel like I'm not invested in a relationship as she is. I have always been somewhat distant and not an emotional communicator based on how I was raised, and she is the opposite. We have a lot in common in our great match, but I have also felt like I should break up with her, that she needs someone who can give her the things she gives me, and somebody that's emotionally available in the capacity that she needs. Don't look at you being all fair and analytical. I know I have a lot of growing to do, and I feel that maybe part of my journey is going through this to learn what I want and need and value from a relationship, and specifically how to give those things. Is it right to call it off now instead of having these feelings linger any longer in our relationship? Yes, it is. And it's like time, sit down with her. This is going to be one of those, it's not you, it's me conversations, and you will really mean it though. And, just like, I'm feeling like you need more, or I think you would be happier with more than I can emotionally give you. I feel like, you're constantly hungering for something that's just not, I don't have the capacity to give it to you. It's frustrating for me, and I know it's got to be frustrating for you. And, we can be friends, we can hang out, have lunch every now and then, but I think it's for a romantic relationship, it's time for us to end this and go our separate ways. You know, nothing wrong with that. She's not gonna be happy about it, especially after 3 years. But see, that's why you don't date people for no 3 and 4 and 5 years. You date them for 1 year, and then you decide if you're gonna marry them or not. And if the answer is no, then you move on to the next one. I'm still dating people for no 4 or 5 years. Question number 13. This is a male in the 22 to 27 age group. He's Asian, from Berkeley, California. Sorry of issue. I am bi, dating a heterosexual woman. I love her and want her, but my unrequited feelings for an ex keeps me up at night. Wow, you got it bad. Do I give myself more time to explore my sexuality or accept the immense love I get from my girlfriend? How should I proceed? Okay, get from my girlfriend. Huh. I've been out for just a few years. I certainly explored that side of me. Maybe not to the extent of other gay men, but I've had my fair share. I haven't really explored that side of myself emotionally, though, as I've only liked/loved this one quote ex. Also, I'm not open about my sexuality to my family or really that publicly, but I'll certainly tell anyone who asks. My ex was some of the best nook of my life. Maybe I linger on that since I'm equally attracted to nook with a man as I am to a woman. I watch gay popcorn and think about my times with him. And when I see him, I always feel this magnetic attraction to him. Okay. So what you doing with this woman though? For real. I'm not being facetious. I don't want to jeopardize my relationship with my girlfriend, as it's the first time I've experienced seeing a long-term future with someone. We've been together for over a year. We're complete opposites, but somehow we make it work. I just don't know what to do. I've never really sat down with my ex and talked about everything that happened in the past, but I know he loved me and I wasn't emotionally ready for more. Do I talk to him to clear the air, get peace of mind or answers? Do I talk to my girlfriend about it? We are all 26, by the way. No, you talk to him first. You talk to him first and you tell him what you've been doing. And you ask him, uh, would he be open to getting back together? Because that's what sounds like you looking for. That's what you want to do. All the things that you talk about you're getting from this woman, you could get from him, including this best nook of your life. So if it were me and I was a gay dude and I had that option versus being with a woman, I like her, I love her, or whatever, but it's just not the same. I would choose that one because you already know he loves you, and you're now capable of loving somebody because you demonstrated it with this woman. So that emotional barrier that kept you guys from moving any further closer together, you and the male ex, is not there anymore. So going back to explore that situation would make sense at this point, if he's still single, that is. That's why you need to talk to him first, because you might just be having a one-sided fantasy by yourself that's not going to really amount to too much, or he'll tell you, well, it's really nice, I like seeing you or whatever, but that ship has sailed. You done tow your draws, I'm never going back with you, this and that. I mean, you need to know that so you can start putting yourself into a different frame of mind. I don't know. You know as much about this dude as me. This one we just read on the letter. I don't know what he's done. But I don't know. I look at these women that said, with the dudes that, used to have gay lovers, and they're like, oh, he's not gay anymore. I don't believe that shit. I think that, once you walked on that side and you explored that side of yourself, you can't put it back in a box. It might not be all the way out the box, but it's definitely not going to be hidden away in the box anymore, ever. It's going to come out because that's part of who you are now. So as a woman, I really wouldn't want to take that risk. I wouldn't want to do that if I was a totally, heterosexual woman. Well, notice how he talked about how the love, the immense love that he gets from her. He's not saying too much about the immense love that he's giving back. He spent all his letter talking about this other dude. Notice that? She was just mentioned in passing. That's what I'm saying. He needs to have the courage to go forward in the direction where he really wants to go, which is back to this dude. At least explore it. Because like I said, we don't know what dude got going on. He might be with somebody else, you know what I mean? And not be interested or be mad and not want to. I mean, we don't know, but he should at least explore it. Well, she should spare herself. That's what I'm saying. That's not a smart decision as far as I'm concerned because, you know, once you do that, Jack pops out the box. It's hard time getting Jack back in the box. Question number 14, male 28 to 34 from Vacaville, California. Summary of the issue. My 4-year-old son was influenced by his older cousin to take a hit of a tobacco vape. Woo! The cousin is 14 and has a sister 11, and they both come over sometimes to visit my other kids are 11 and 14 to hang out. Apparently, he had my son 4 hit the vape. I found out after they left and I lost my shit. My wife said he wouldn't come over for a long time. I said he will never come over again, not for fucking holidays, birthdays, or anything. I don't want any of those kids over here anymore because their parents don't fucking parent them and they have no respect for other people's homes. I also called the police to try and press charges, which unfortunately there's no legal action I can take. So all I can do is ban them from my house forever. It wasn't just this incident that pushed me to this, though. The 2 kids in that family are always disrespectful of my house when they come over here, either by breaking things, not being considerate of our house, the belongings, etc. Last time they were here, they went on our roof. What? During the 4th of July and threw fireworks into the neighbor's yard at 3 in the morning. I freaked the fuck out and kicked them all out of my house. My wife is too tolerant of kids' bullshit, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of disrespectful ass kids. Am I doing too much? How would you handle that, Deb? I would have handled it just like you did. But after that fireworks incident, when you threw them out, they would have been banned from my house after that. Because see, now you're doing like criminal mischief and shit that disturbing the peace. I mean, shit that is a criminal act where they could get written up for it and carted off to juvie and stuff like that. So you ain't doing that shit in my house. You're not doing it in my house, and now he's gonna bring a vape to your house, and he's underage, and then he's gonna give it to your 4-year-old. And see, when they start doing shit like that, you don't know what other kind of stuff he's gonna be doing to your 4-year-old. You, dude, have better sense than your wife. Keep them motherfucking people away from your house and away from your family. Tell your wife if she want to go visit them relatives, she gonna go by herself. She's not bringing your kids over there and in that environment around them people. They ain't coming to your house either. And you need to lay that law down real quick. Tell her you insist on doing some shit like that, we will be in divorce court, bitch. I am not playing with you. And I'm taking my kids with me, and they will never see you or them drug fiend ass relatives of your criminal relatives of yours. I wouldn't be playing with her. And people be like, well, you be overreacting. You press the nuclear option all the time. I sure do. Especially when it comes to a 4-year-old baby. Come the fuck on. With a 14-year-old? No. I'm going to go through hell or high water to protect my 4-year-old. You can bet that. So, yeah, if I had to change wives, I'd do that without looking back. So, dude, I mean, I know I'm sounding harsh, but I'm very concerned because this time it's tobacco. The next time it could be crack pipe. I mean, you just don't know. When this kid is going down that path at 14, usually they start escalating. And the next thing could be something that makes your baby's heart stop. That's my concern. Little kids are, their little bodies can't handle those kind of substances like older teens and adults can. You have better sense than your wife. So you could very possibly be saving your 4-year-old's life. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Because he's a silly little teenager and they don't think about stuff like that. So you have to think about that kind of stuff for them. Okay. So you tell the parents, y'all ain't coming to my house. If my wife come over to your house, she ain't bringing my kids. They not coming. They're not gonna come. And you might be able to go and Yeah, I know somebody whose dog ate some cigarettes and the dog, that was it. I don't understand why the dog ate the cigarettes, though, but that was another issue. But yeah, that's my concern. He's only 4. They're so little at 4. Mm-mm. Woo, dude. Dude is hot dogs. These disrespectful ass kids. He's on fire. He's like me. I would have lit everybody up. But yeah, you keep them out your house. Get a restraining order if you have to, and you can definitely use that situation and the criminal mischief kind of behaviors that they do, and they're putting your children at risk to be involved in some criminal stuff that would have them picked up by the police, and you don't want it in your house. That's all you have to do. Question number 15. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from St. Paul, Minnesota. My friends want to bring their boyfriends to our outings, but I am single. What should I do? Get new friends. I'm 26 and the only single one of a friend group full of women who age and range from 25 to 32. We meet up once or twice a month to keep in touch. Recently, one of them suggested everyone start bringing their partners to outings. All of them have boyfriends but me. I felt a little awkward about this. No matter how much people insist, it isn't weird to be the only single one amongst couples. I think anyone who has been in that position doesn't like it. However, if I don't go, I'm worried they'll feel bad and feel like they can't be a couple thing because of me. They can't be a couple thing because of you because you're not a couple. What are you talking about? And that's all you had to tell them. Well, y'all gonna start doing couple shit, then just count me out. That's all you had to say. Say, you want to switch up the thing that we're supposed to be just ladies get together and like the dudes get together. They don't bring you, and you don't need to bring them. Can't you do anything without men looking at men and smelling them all the time? If that's what you want to do, that's the direction you want to go, count me out because I'm not gonna be bothered with it. That's all you had to say. And then they would have been like, oh, well, no, let's just keep it like it is, and then this problem would have been solved. The thing that they're not thinking about too is men don't often like to do couples things like that. Unless they know the dudes and they're really friends with the dudes, especially twice a month, like maybe once a quarter, they'll want to do it. But once or twice a month, they're not gonna want to do that. So, they making plans for these men and we haven't checked with the dudes at all. So I don't think it's gonna happen anyway. The other option I consider is bring a friend, but I don't know anyone who would want to come hang out with a bunch of couples. Any advice on how to approach this? Yeah, you just gonna tell them like I just told you. Like, well, sounds like you guys are gonna be switching our girls get-togethers to couples get-together, and since I'm not a couple, I'm not gonna be there. So you guys just have fun. I'll find something else to do. That's all you had to say. And they would have been sitting there looking embarrassed because whoever thought that was a good idea is an idiot. Question 16, female 34 to 42 from Nashville, Tennessee. Summer issue. My stepmother ruins visits with my 7-year-old dad because she talks nonstop. I'm 34. My husband and I just had a baby, and my dad and his wife are in town. They're staying at a hotel to meet the baby. His wife has always driven both my husband and I up the wall. She's extremely exhausted because she talks nonstop and always relates everything to herself, even the most mundane things. Example, I could say I had a smoothie for breakfast, and she will proceed to tell a story about how she brought a smoothie on a road trip 22 years ago. I am not kidding. My dad is getting older and has health issues, and he lives far away. I only get to see him in person so many times a year. He's also on the quiet side. Yeah, because why would he not be? Because he never has time to talk. Get his turn to talk. Whenever they visit, I can't get any conversation with him because his wife constantly fucking blabbers on. She's also extremely defensive, so I can't fathom a way to ask her to shut the fuck up. She has no self-awareness. Okay, so what, you was just a little chicken shit bitch? And your husband's milk toast too? Y'all can't say, look, we invited you guys over because we want to have a conversation with him, so you need to be quiet. Stop talking so much. You just monopolize the conversation. Nobody else going to get a word in there. What? I'm going to set this timer, and for 20 minutes, I don't want you to say anything. Turn the timer on and start talking to your daddy. It's going to kill her. But at the end of the 20 minutes, say, okay, now you can talk. You have to treat her like a 2-year-old. She's going to be upset. I can't believe you did that to me. Well, what else do you want me to do? All the times we get together, you use all the words in the world. Nobody else gets to say anything. And the main thing is you talk about some shit that nobody care about anyway. But see, I don't care about all this stuff about, people being defensive and sensitive and all that kind of shit. I don't care about that. Your nerves are never going to be more precious and get more respect than mine do. And if you get on my nerves, I'm going to tell you about yourself and you just going to deal with it. If you don't want to deal with it, there's the door and get the fuck out. I don't know. I just never seen so many people afraid to speak up in my life. How do you advocate for yourself? And then it's scary, these are going to be parents. How do you protect your kids when you're afraid to say anything to anybody? Oh, I was constantly in folks' face when my daughter was in elementary school. Oh my God. All I had to do was call her school and they say, oh, the school, they say the name of the school and they be all happy and stuff. I say in my dry, I'm a bitch mode voice, this is Deborrah Cooper, flat, just like that. And you could hear them go, they suck in wind. I said, what can we do for you today? I say, well, I got this issue right here. So this and that happened. I want to know what y'all going to do about it. Oh, well, they start stuttering. I'm like, well, I'll be up there after I finish my last client. I'll be there about 3:00 to pick her up, and then I'll dip into the office so we can have a little chat. They were scared the shit of me. I raised holy hell at that school. But, that's how you have to be about your kids. If you don't protect them, who is going to? Okay? And this your daddy, and he's old, and he might not be around too much longer, and you letting this bitch monopolize the conversation. You can't even have a conversation with him. Of course, you could sacrifice your husband and say, I'm going to take my daddy, out for a ride, and it's just going to be the two of us. Y'all stay here. And make your husband sacrifice your husband for an hour or so while you and your daddy have some time together. You could do that. But you're going to owe your husband, you're going to have to like bribe him big time. I don't know what you're going to do, what you're going to give him. But, most couples, they have some kind of way you could bribe them. I would try that as well. Question number 17. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Austin, Texas. Sorry, issue. First date dilemma. Should I get him a birthday gift? No. So my brother introduced me to this guy a little over a week ago, and we hit it off pretty well. We've hung out in a group setting twice now, and we've been texting every day since. He recently asked me out for a first date, which is happening in just a few days. But here's the thing. I just found out that his 21st birthday is 2 days after our first date. Now I'm stuck wondering if I should get him a gift, and if so, what kind of gift would be appropriate? Also, would it be weird to give him the gift on our first date, or should I wait until after his birthday, assuming the date goes well, of course? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What would you do if you were in my situation, Deb? I don't know, but it's your birthday, really? I wouldn't know shit. Because, you found that out, but how you know that the person who told you that was reliable and had their facts right? You don't know that. You didn't hear from him, right? Because you say you found out. That doesn't mean it doesn't sound like you heard him say it. So I don't know nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. He's going to be like, oh, my birthday was, 2 days ago. Or when you guys on your date, he'll be like, oh, my birthday is in 2 days. It's like, oh, good. I'll text you that morning or I'll torture you or call you and sing happy birthday to you or something. Make a joke about it and blow your eardrums out and stuff. I don't know, something like that, but I wouldn't be buying his ass shit. Not even a card. He's not your man. He's not even your friend. You just met him. Okay? Don't do too much. Question number 18. And it never looks good when women start buying men stuff either. So now you're setting yourself up to be the bottom bitch. You're going to be buying a motherfucking shit and you just met him? No, you're not going to buy him shit. Okay? Not even a card, like I said. Damn, these cards are $5 these days. Question number 18. This is a male in the 28 to 34 age group from St. Paul, Minnesota. Summary of issue. How do I tell my girlfriend we talk about her feelings too much? I've been with her for 2 years. She has anxiety, depression, PTSD, and a few other things. Oh my God, why did you get with her? Talking about her feelings isn't generally a problem. However, we really routinely go stretches for weeks or months where we talk about almost nothing but her feelings, which are usually sad or anxious. It's gotten to the point where I'm drained and I just can't do it anymore. I don't want to come off as insensitive or that I don't care about her being sad, anxious, or whatever else, but it's emotionally and mentally draining. I must always be on and a cheerleader. Again, I don't generally mind, but the problem comes when there are days that I just don't have it in me to be a cheerleader for anybody. And because it's so draining, those days are becoming more and more frequent. I don't even tell her about my problems because it just ends in me having to console her feelings. If I'm stressed out or down myself, the last thing I want to do is have to console someone else's feelings that were caused by me talking about whatever I have going on. It's to the point where we rarely even talk on the phone right now. The other night we were on the phone for an hour and a half, and the first hour was about her feelings. She wakes up, we talk about her feelings. Throughout the day, we talk about her feelings. At night, we talk about her feelings. It's literally no less than 89% of our conversation. And you haven't told her that that's boring? Sometimes she tries to have, quote, sexy talk, and I'm just already mentally drained, so I don't always respond the way that she wants. I don't respond negatively, just not as enthusiastically as she wants. All of that part is somewhat another problem in itself. I really hope I'm not sounding insensitive. I just feel like I'm being a therapist 24/7 and not a boyfriend. I don't want to end it, but I just have a lot going on right now, and I want to try and find a way to talk about this with her without it sounding like I don't care. When in truth, I do care. I just don't have the energy or capacity to continuously be a cheerleader at the moment. How should I handle this? You sit her down and say, do you realize that 80 to 90% of the conversations that we have about your feelings? I want us to talk about something else because right now I'm feeling more like a therapist than a partner. And I don't like it. And she's going to sit there with a Pikachu face. Oh, but my feelings, I'm so sad. It's like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. The days when you feel like that, you're going to stay at your house by yourself and you're going to talk to yourself or somebody else who cares because it's not going to be me. Okay, I need a break from this. So when you are in the mood to talk about something that's fun, exciting, and to do fun, exciting things other than talk about your feelings, then hit me up. Until then, we're going to take a break from this shit. I'm just like, oh, you need my t-shirt, dude. I have another t-shirt my other brother sent me. And it says, shh, no one cares. That's the one that you need. You need to wear that so when she starts talking, you just go point to your shirt and go, shh, no one cares. Yeah, you good, because I don't know how you understood that for 2 years. I can't stand that kind of stuff for 2 minutes. Conversation's supposed to be back and forth, two people, exchanging information, or three or four. I mean, whatever, exchanging words back and forth. Not one person just focusing on themselves the whole time. And so that's what you need to tell her. It's like it's boring. I don't want to do this anymore. So either you figure out a way to have a conversation that's about something other than yourself and your damn feelings, or there's no point in us continuing this relationship. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel like hearing it. I don't care. I really just don't care. It's like, people want to tell you stuff like that. And, they will tell you all these problems and stuff. I mean, in this role here, I listen to the problem. But notice the problems have a short, they have so many words and then I'm done with it. But, you have friends, and especially the ones that want to keep talking about the same thing over and over and over, and they don't do anything to change the situation. They just want to tell you about the same thing. I get anxiety. I can't handle it because I want them to do something and they don't want to do it. And so then I just tell them, okay, we're not going to talk about this anymore because you seem like, like to feel this way. And that's fine. You can certainly do that. But one thing I don't like is for me to feel the way I'm feeling when you tell me about this stuff. So you have to keep that over there. And then I will, be in a good mood over here. That's how we're going to do this. And everyone who I've had to tell that to was not happy. And then at this point, I'm not talking to any of them because that was the only conversation that they wanted to have. Shay! And I wasn't trying to be bothered with all of that. Shay, why did she give me 30 questions? I'm dying. Ugh. I'm only on question number 19. She's 22 to 27 from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Summary of the issue. I am tired of the way the men in my family treat my mom, but what can I do? Nothing. Because your mother, unless she is abusive to the point where you can bring in APS, is not doing anything for herself. So what you supposed to do? My brothers are 27 and 36. They have the worst attitude and have no appreciation. My dad, 62, berates and yells at her when she isn't giving him what he needs right then and there. To counter them, I go overboard to tell my mother I love her and appreciate everything she does for the family, but she never gets a thank you from them. Yeah, but she hasn't cussed them out either, right? Tonight was the final straw. I go to church with my mom every Sunday. We were coming back to the house, and she wanted to make breakfast for my second brother, who was 27, before he went to work. Church ran late, so she said he would have to eat fast before leaving. He grunted and growled and told her to just forget it. She said she would try her best to make this meal for him to have time to watch TV like he always does. I told him he better say thank you and apologize for his behavior because she's told me more than once that she feels no matter how much love and affection she gives him, he is always disgusted with it. I'm glad he actually apologized, but I never heard a thank you. Okay. Then the oldest brother complained that his window wasn't working. And he was on a road trip and he was giving the mother attitude about his window. Was she supposed to be like, think and fix it? Wow. Okay, she just wanted all the details. She's very distressed at my brothers and my dad, and I could not be more angry. I want to actually fight these guys for even snapping at her. She does not deserve these jerks. I want to talk to each of them, but I'm afraid their stubborn behavior that's been ingrained into their heads won't ever change. I want to yell at all of them for being horrible. I don't know where to start. I need advice. The way this where to start is your mother. Your mother is a doormat. Your mother, okay, her church ran late. And she coming in and talking about, oh, I'll hurry up and fix you breakfast. She's supposed to say, oh, church ran late, so you just find something on the road, stop at McDonald's or something and get yourself some breakfast. Or better yet, I mean, he knew she was at church. Why couldn't his 27-year-old get in the kitchen and make his own breakfast? You see where I'm going with this? Your mother's bringing this on herself. I know you don't want to see it that way, but that's what's happening. She's allowing this behavior and encouraging it by the way that she responds to them and doesn't cuss them all out. Because all she has to do is say, I'm going to go on strike. I'm not doing shit for you trifling pieces of shit, motherfuckers, and entitled asses. I'm not doing nothing. So you figure out what you're going to eat. You figure out how to clean up this goddamn house. And you do everything because I'm not doing shit. You ungrateful pricks. And you don't talk to them like that. And then go in the room and lock the door. And then watch them sit there with the Pikachu face, like shocked and appalled. And then the daddy probably would go in there, beating on the door, say, open the door, you got to do this and that. And she said, tell them, you keep it up, I'll call the police on you and say you threatened me. You better leave me alone. I'll let them hear you beating on the door and threatening me. And then he'll go away. He ain't crazy. So she ended the friendship. Wow. Wow, button. Yeah, I mean, I don't, I know you're upset and you love your mother. I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. And of course, you don't want to see her mistreated, but I want you to understand, look at this with the open eyes. Your mother is fully participating and welcoming and encouraging this behavior from your brothers and your dad. Not one time has she stood up for herself. Instead, she goes and, like groveling for their attention and approval and stuff. So you step back and really look at this with the open eyes that you have, and then approach your mother and say, what's going on? Why do you let them treat you like that? Because that's the solution to this problem. She has to stop letting them treat her that way. So far, she's not, and at her age, it's probably not going to happen. So you just, I don't know what to tell you. You're just going to have to get used to it, I guess. Question number 20. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Leeds in the UK. Summary of the issue. I'm mortified. He didn't turn up to meet the family. My boyfriend, well, he's my ex now, has been pestering to meet my family for ages. I finally organized a meal, which included myself and my boyfriend. I don't know what all these letters she's putting up here. Daughters, I don't know. Yesterday at my house, my boyfriend seemed very happy to be meeting them. It's been difficult finding a weekend where we're all free because the son works shift and the daughter-in-law works away. It was planned for 3 p.m. I spent all the previous night and yesterday preparing a 3-course meal from scratch. My boyfriend isn't here, so I included dishes from his country too. I messaged him in the morning to confirm 3 would still be good for him. He said, yes, I got everything ready. At 2:15, I got a message from him saying he will come after 4 instead as he wants to go to the gym in a bit and shopping beforehand. No apology for being late. I explained that the food was already in the oven. I didn't know if my family would be able to stay that long as they had other arrangements for later on in the day. He then tried to turn it around like me, saying that my family obviously wasn't that interested in meeting him. They couldn't be bothered to wait an extra hour and a bit to meet him. I told him I found it very rude that he was trying to turn his back on me and had dropped me in it with my family. He then blocked me and never turned up. Wow. He rang off a no-caller ID a couple of hours later, but I didn't answer. By the time he blocked me, it was almost 3, and my family arrived a few minutes later. It was so embarrassing having to explain to my family that he hadn't turned up. We did enjoy the dinner, and I hid my emotions while they were here, but I've been so upset and mortified ever since. Is it okay to be disgusted by his behavior? Why do you need my buy-in and approval for you to be disgusted at the way your boyfriend treats you? What kind of question is this? He was making it seem like I was blowing everything out of proportion, and he has every right to turn up hours late. Well, he did have every right to turn up hours late. But what you should have done though is said, okay, well just get here when you get here, and serve the food at 3. And if your family had to leave, they would have left. And then he would have came wandered in there like he was the star of a show, and the show would have been over. The food put up in the refrigerator, and he just would have sat there. That's how I would have done him. Then we would have broke up. But I wouldn't be getting myself all in a snit about him playing them silly games like that. I was like, oh, you want to go to the gym? Oh, yeah. How many sets you going to be doing? Really? That sounds like a great workout. So listen, you're going to be all puffed up and stuff. Oh, your muscles be all shiny when you come here. Okay, yeah, we'll see when you get here. No problem. See, because he was doing that because he wanted to get a rise out of us. That's what you never play along with them when they try to do stuff like that. Yes, rude and all of that kind of stuff, but you already knew what he was doing. So why did you play the game with him? You let him play you like a violin. Remember, match energy, ladies. How many times do I have to say this? He don't give a fuck, which is why he made that call. So guess what? You don't give a fuck either. You see how that works? She didn't do that though. She got all in her feelings about it. But what she was supposed to do was be like, oh, okay. That's how she's supposed to handle that. Let's move on to question number 21. I think I can only do 25 questions, you guys. I'm starving. My stomach is shaking hands and one side to another. But I'll add some questions and then I'll do more questions on the weekend or something. Question number 21. This is a female in the 20 to 34 age group from Irvine, California. Summary of issue. A coworker in his 50s is harassing me. HR is not an option. What can I do to get him to stop? Help me. Background. My brother passed away about 6 months ago. I have cried at work a lot and in front of a lot of people. I made the mistake of being too open and vulnerable with one of my coworkers, an older guy named, quote, John, in his 50s who sits across from me. I like this guy. I think he's nice and funny and has comforted me a lot in my grief. Okay, yeah. 28 to 34, and he's in his 50s. Okay. Recently, he has made increasingly more comments about my body and finds reason to put an arm around me or touch me. And you don't tell him to get his mitts off of you? It's like I'm grieving, but I'm not stupid. You don't be pawing me, you fat, ugly, old fart. Get away from me. I'm moving desks as soon as possible, but it's not enough. Yeah, you're being too passive. Like lately, he says things like, I really appreciate you wearing those jeans while staring at my butt. It's disgusting and disappointing because I thought he was a friend. No man on your job is ever your friend. I don't know what delusion you girls be under when you think that shit. He was only being friendly because he knew it was an end so he could tap that ass. That's all they be thinking about when they be trying to be your friend at the job. They want to fuck, okay? I need to be blunt because y'all just don't goddamn get it. He's my friend. He's my friend. We go to lunch. We do this and that. We all just, he wants to get some of that booty, okay? That's what every man who tries to be a friend to you on your job is after, unless he's gay. Now, please understand that and stop being so fucking brand new. It gets on my nerves. I'm also dating someone I work with, and that has mostly been fine and good. He is my own age. Let's call him David. I tried to accidentally on purpose candidly mention that David and I are dating, but this did not deter John. He made another comment the next time I wore jeans and added, I hope David doesn't get mad I said that. I've also had problems in the past with my old supervisor who has since left. Nothing harassment-wise. She was just unsupportive and incompetent. And yeah, well, most managements these days seem to be that. I don't want to talk to HR about another problem I'm having with someone. I don't want to be labeled a problem person. I feel like I won't be believed based on who it is. John is a dad, happily married, and acts like everyone's funny uncle. I also do not have the energy to go through a harassment case. I'm still grieving, and frankly, this has been the worst year of my life. Quit the job, because you're too silly and passive to deal with this. I'm also afraid to speak up because I don't want to sound accusatory or having flipped it on me. I'm dating someone at work, and while I would love to think our feminism has progressed, I can already see the line of thinking there. Please help me. I can't take it anymore. Yeah, what you're going to do is have to deuce out on this job. Go find you another one. Your grieving is going to probably get in the way for it for a little bit. So hope you have a lot of vacation time or something built up. You need to be away from this place, okay? Because you can't even properly grieve when you got somebody like perving on you every time you go around. And then you'll be more able to date David freely because you both won't work at the same place. So you'll solve multiple problems by changing jobs. Okay, so look into that. And I don't want you to give any notice. I want you to quit Deb style. On Friday, and you start easing your stuff, that's your personal stuff, out the office. But on Friday, you bring a tote bag and you put out whatever your last items are in there, and then you walk out the door. And then on Monday, they're gonna be looking for you. But see, you already got your new job now, so they don't need a reference because you already got the other thing lined up. And so then you walk out the door, then they're gonna be like, "Oh, what happened? Why aren't you at work?" "Oh, I quit." Deb style. I quit. Or sometimes I walk out the door like at lunchtime. I say, "Oh well, I'm not coming back after lunch," and they'd be like, "Oh, what? Are you sick?" "No, I'm quitting." I've done that multiple times. You know why I do that? Because my dad told me not to have you don't have loyalty to companies. They don't have none to you. And people who did that and they die on their job and shit like that, that will never be me. So you have to do what's best for you. And if I get a new job lined up and they want me to start on Monday, then that means I need, I'm on a long weekend, so I'm gonna leave here at noon or earlier, and then I'll be out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and start the new job on Monday, because that's when they need me there. What I don't need is more your shit. And do I need to give them 2 weeks notice? Nope. They like it 2 weeks because it gives them time to find somebody else. But guess what? I don't give a shit what you find. It's not my responsibility to worry about you finding somebody to replace me. That's your job. Chop chop. Make it happen. Yeah, she made a whole bunch of mistakes there. But it is kind of hard. She don't want to report nothing, no button, so she's not gonna be able to do that. Notice how she kept saying, "I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid." She's just a big fear ball. So she ain't gonna do shit. She just gonna have to quit. But for me, I would have already told him. It's like, look, you an old married man. And you trying to tell me stuff about the way I look at his wife. Should I call that your wife and tell her that you said that to me? You think she would appreciate that statement? Well, you talk about David. Let's talk about your wife. Because I sure want to call her and tell her. And he would have a whole new, it was like, oh, he would just have a new vision of life. Because he don't want that kind of heat. You know? Yeah, I don't understand why so many women don't get that. And these young ones, especially, they coming out of college, and these older dudes be like, trying to befriend them and take them to lunch and be also, and the girls are so brand new, they think that, these men are really trying to be their friend and help them, learn the company and all this old kind of shit. He's trying to figure out how stupid you are if there's another man that he's going to have competition with, and if you stupid enough to deal with somebody on the job like that, if he can negotiate and navigate his way into your drawers. That's all he's after. These men do not have your best interest at heart at all. They're about what they gonna get from you. You young ones are stupid and don't know no different. Yeah, they talk about work wise, but it's work butt. That's right. Tell them, girl. Okay, let's move on from this. It's like she's like, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it either. Question 22. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Atlanta. Third issue. My fiance of 7.5 years got drunk and used my trauma to hurt me in an argument. What do I do? Slap yourself because you never should have told him. That's your fault. Because people can't use stuff against you that they don't have. That they don't have. They can't use ammo that you didn't give them. So you did that to yourself by having a big mouth. I done told you not to do that. A week ago, my fiance and I went to see the new Alien movie with another couple who are friends of ours. We hung out at the movie theater bar for a while after the movie was over. Everything was going great until the other couple started arguing. My fiance separated with the other guy trying to calm him down because he was drunk and overreacting. However, my fiance was also drunk. I could see their conversation was going nowhere, and I tried to interject because it was late. I was tired and I had to work in the morning. My fiance flipped, yelled at me to shut the fuck up. Men are talking. Wow. I was obviously hurt and angry. We go to leave, and I try to take the keys because he's clearly drunk and shouldn't be driving. He refuses to let me drive, and I end up in the car with him screaming at me and speeding. While I'm sobbing, he's hurling insults at me and yelling at me to stop crying. Why, you hella stupid. He then tells me that I wouldn't survive with him and wouldn't be nothing without him. He pulls over and tells me to get out of his car. It's my daily driver. Both of our names are on it, and his mom just paid it off for us after they both convinced me she just wanted to help after I refused her offer several times. I get out of the car. I'm left on the side of the road, 30 minutes away from home. He ends up turning around and demanding I get back in the car. When I refused, he sped away, then circled back in the time I got in the car. As we're driving home, he's still yelling and hurling insults at me, and we're going back and forth. Here's the kicker. Now, I don't remember what I said before he said this to me, probably because of how fucked up my brain has been from it. But whatever I said, he responded with, "It's not my fault you got fucking date ard." There's a lot more that happened that night after that, but for me, that's what took the cake. I shared my trauma with someone I'd been with for almost 8 years just to have it weaponized and thrown in my face, all because he was drunk and angry about something that shouldn't have been involved us in the first place. He's been super apologetic and saying he's never going to drink again because his grandfather was an abusive drunk, and once he got sober, he became the most amazing person. I just don't have the faith in growing together anymore. You shouldn't have had it after year 2. I'm so sad. I wanted it to work more than anything, and I feel like I wasted so much of my life trying to convince someone to be good to me. I don't want it all to be for nothing. Well, it is. To matter what you want, it is what it is. Okay? What would possess you to date somebody for 7.5 years? Let's start there. Why would you tell a man about a situation where you got date art? Why would you tell him that? What would be the benefit for you in your relationship for you to tell him that? I want you young women to shut the fuck up all the time. Stop fucking talking. Because you don't know what to talk about and you talk about dumb shit. Shit that you have no business saying to anyone. No man needs to know about that. Except your shrink. Male, female shrink, whatever. Your shrink is the only one that you should be discussing that with. Why? Because they have professional conduct. They will lose their license and their livelihood if they go around blabbing. So they don't do it. That's part of their, what they're doing to keep maintaining their license. They're not going to talk about stuff. The ones who are going to talk are the people who want to win over you. And that's why he did that, because his goal was to win, to shut you down, was to conquer and vanquish you. That's why you never give them ammunition to do it. Big ass mouths. No, you don't tell him. That's what I just said. The only person should be your shrink. Nobody needs to know. It's not their business. I mean, I guess if they were there and, witnessed it or something, well, then they would know. But, and, just to have a conversation about it years later, oh, yeah, we tell you about the time. No. So, it's not going to work, girl, because, why would you stay with somebody who talked to you like that and said something so vile to you? I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to do 2 more questions, and I'm going to go get me something to eat. I'm about to faint. Your aunt told the whole family? See? My parents do that. I don't know what their goal is for doing that, though, destroying their child's privacy like that. Question number 23. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Toledo, Ohio. Summary issue. The guy I'm talking to is giving me potential abuser vibes. What do I do? You get away from him. Is this a trick question? I'm currently on round 2 of trying things out with this guy I matched with on the swipey thing. In April, we really hit it off. He's very sweet. I can tell he's interested in a serious relationship like I am, but he says little things that remind me of an abusive ex. Within the first few days of getting to know each other, he began to show signs of possessiveness. For example, I was going out with a friend to a party, and I sent him a picture of the dress I was going to wear. His response was, "You're definitely going to get a lot of attention in that dress." I laughed it off and said, "Thanks," but I had this lingering, uncomfortable feeling. Additionally, in April, I went to a grocery store to pick up some things for dinner. I FaceTimed him while I was there, and he kept saying things like, "Do you really know what you're looking for? You sure are friendly. I don't usually talk to strangers in passing." Then when I got home, still on FaceTime, I had so many bags to take in my apartment. I said trying to flirt. "I wish there was a strong man here to help me with all of this." His response was not what I expected. He gave me the biggest ick. Him, "It sounds like you want just any guy to come help you." Me, "No, I was talking about you, actually." Him, "Just say that then," in a nasty tone. See what was saying earlier about people with a bad understanding? For example, I was starting not to like him, but I figured I was letting the trauma from my past relationship ruin the possible new one, so I simply had a discussion with him about boundaries and taking things slowly. It didn't go well. He said, fine, I just won't talk to you then. But we remained friendly and grew to appreciate him more. In August, he apologized. No, I apologized for making a possible snap judgment and ending things a few months ago and canceling the first date we planned. I asked him if he'd like to try again, and he said yes. Fast forward to last night. Okay, I'm in charge of 3 students with exceptionalities, so I tried to help navigate them in most tasks. For their comfort, I don't want to allow him to come over if they're here. I haven't had more than 6 hours without my students. Then nursing school, I told him as soon as I get a day or evening to myself, we can go out. I talk to him all the time and try to reassure him. But now he never shuts up about going out. It really irks me because he knows what the answer is and what my schedule looks like. It's getting annoying. And since last night, I think I'm ready to end this permanently. I was expressing to him that I'm feeling overwhelmed by work and school. Okay, so she's going on and on. Some about herself. I felt myself drifting into a darker mindset, which happens from time to time when I feel lonely or mentally exhausted. I'm really opening up to him, and his response, not when you have me. And later, yeah, that was the one reason why I was so ready to take you out and come over. I can tell you were getting stressed, and I just want to give you a time to relax and have a fun time. Like, dude, I'm on the brink of a mental collapse, and all you think about is a damn date? Okay, so you wrote a novel about a man that you don't even really want to be with. And I'm like, well, what you give him all that attention and time for then? See, this is the mistake you make. You don't never go backwards. Okay, you got rid of the fool because he was stupid in April. But then you still dealing with him in all these months, and then you apologize, and then you got to try for round 2. He's still the same stupid idiot he was in April. Okay? What did you think, he's going to magically change or something? Did you really think that? That doesn't happen. I don't understand what you thought. When you break up with a man, especially when you see that he has behavior patterns or, he says things, talks you crazy, there's something going on that you find less, then you let him go forever. You don't go circling back like he's the only man on earth because he's still the same. He hasn't changed. Men don't change. What they learn how to do is hide stuff, but they don't change. So what you see is what you get. You coming back with that fairy tale fantasy, well, he's different. He's going to be different now. Let's move on. Question number 24. This is a female in the 22 to 27 age group from Arizona. Summary of issue. Am I wrong for breaking up with my boyfriend without compromising because of his female best friend? No. I will never tell you that you're wrong for breaking up with something if a man is doing something that you feel violates your boundaries. Okay, this is strictly a you thing. You decide that, not me. So we've been dating for a year. He has a group of close friends. His friend G is the only female. They are best friends. In general, I don't have a problem with my boyfriend being friends with women. I think it's okay. But I don't like G. She deliberately ignores me, and I've been told that women make her uncomfortable. My boyfriend has already said she's socially awkward, which I've talked about how cold and rude she is. When she speaks to me, her tone of voice is really rude and curt. She also has a history with the group. About 5 to 10 years ago, she slept with everyone in the friend group, with the exception of my boyfriend. However, they've all moved past that. My boyfriend has said on previous occasions that he doesn't respect people that try to control others, has encouraged friends to break up with SOs if they have such control issues. I don't see this relationship going anywhere, and since I'm 27 and looking for marriage, it's best to break up. Am I a bitch for breaking up without trying to compromise? I feel like if I already made an ultimatum, I'd be the bad guy, and I don't want to control him. Well, he wants to have this female friend that you don't get along with, and evidently he had this female friend before y'all started kicking it. So the need for you to move on would be the right choice, right? You don't want to be in a fight about it and a snit and going crazy and trying to act like you got to fight him for your man and all this old stuff here. You just deuce out, boop, and leave them two together to do whatever it is that fools do. Oh boy, that's terrible. Yeah, these dudes, Sliver, I'm telling you, what women don't understand is that dudes, when you tell them about these things, they fantasize about it. And some of them are so bold, they want to reenact it. So that's why you should never tell them, especially in this era of, all this online popcorn stuff and stuff. It's changed men's mindset. Where they used to be, really appalled by that kind of stuff. Now it's seen as, titillating. And so you giving them free popcorn fodder by telling him your story if he's that weird type. So he gonna want to reenact it so it'd be like a movie. And he'd be the star in it. No, hell to the no. All right, this is gonna be my last question for today. I'm gonna pick this up. I'll add some questions and we'll do another show like Saturday or something. Because I'm exhausted, to tell you, and starving, like out of my mind. Question number 25. This is a female in the 28 to 34 age group from Tampa, Florida. Summary of issue. I don't want my son to hang out with one of his friends anymore. Hey, Deb, I need to know if I'm in the wrong for not wanting my 5-year-old to hang out with another 5-year-old. He's 5 or 6 for some questionable behavior. We knew the kid from school and the mom wanted to do some play dates. My kid seemed like he liked this kid, so we met at the park. The other child ended up punching a random child, not sure why, but his mom brushed it off. Second play date went fine, but the third play date was different. The kids were playing with other children, and the other kid ended up getting hurt somehow and immediately started punching the random kid and saying he was going to K him. Wow. A 6-year-old was doing this. They left the play date shortly after that. My son came and told me he didn't like how his friend was acting, and we have had talks about how saying something like this isn't appropriate and very serious. Am I wrong for not wanting to have the kids hang out anymore? Do I say anything to the other parent? They seem aware of what happened and never said anything. I'm trying to make sure I'm not the crazy parent here or out of line. No, you're not the crazy parent, but you would be if you allowed your child to continue to be around this one. That kid is a sociopath. Okay? And the closer your child is in vicinity to him, the more likely your child is to be at risk. So what you do is call the mother and you say, I want to talk about that situation that happened at the park the other day. And she's gonna, she's gonna brush it off and, blow smoke. Say, well, I feel that your child's language was very, very concerning, and it upset my child and it upset me. And so I wanted you to understand that we will be discontinuing the play dates because I don't want that kind of energy and influence around my 5-year-old. My husband and I don't talk to him like that. We don't know anyone in our circle that talks like that. And I don't want him to be around a child, your child, that does that. Now, is your kid going to see this kid at school? Where did he meet him? I forgot that part. Hold on a second. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, we knew the kid from school. Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, you can't control what happens to them in school, but I would still alert the school as to what happened and tell them you don't want that. You want them to be sure to keep that kid away from your child because of his violence and his language and his threat to, permanently end someone's life at 6 years old. So you want to make the school aware of this too, because they need to be in a position to protect not just your son, but the other students from this boy. Okay, so if it's time to open your mouth and sing like a canary, okay, this is not the time for you to be all quiet and passive and silly. Okay, you got to go into mama bear mode because you're protecting not only your cub, but other people's cubs too. That kid, I don't know what happened to him. He sounds like he needs a therapist. That's not a good way to start your life at 6 years old on that kind of tip, being violent like that. There's something wrong with him. All right. So anyway, yes, I'm deucing out because, we do have 30 questions, but I can't do 30 questions. I can't do it. I need to stop at 25. So I'm going to add, have Candace add, I don't know, 10 to 12 more questions, I guess. And then I'll make a thing and we'll do something over the weekend and knock these out. That's what we'll do. Okay? Yeah, girl. Michael, something got to happen because that's just too much. For to be that young, that's scary that he's already talking like that and punching on people like that. Of course, he's going to, punch on the wrong kid and end up, it was not going to be pretty because, some of these people have the kids in self-defense and they going to step back and do their little judo flip or something and dude's going to end up, hurt and it'll be his own fault. But we would like to hope that this, kid there's some problem there, but the school needs to be aware of it. I mean, it's not the kind of worry about being polite. You tell them what happened and say this so that everybody in the school is in a position where they can help protect the other students from him. Okay. All right, you guys. I'll see you on the weekend. Just look for the notification of the show when I schedule it. If you're not subscribing to the channel, please hit that subscription button and the instant notification bell so that you will find out when we schedule this coming show and any others. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you soon. I'm starving. Need food, food, need food.